a video on making apple juice. So I'll do this in kind of real time as we go. Prepping the apples, we've just got to look at them and see if there are any bad bits on them. So there's a bit of bad there, so that needs to come off, and then we can see there's a little bit more. No, you can't really see. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can see. So there's some bad in there, so that needs to come off. We don't want that in the juice. Not that it's bad, it's just a bit bruised. Apples are in season and extremely cheap at the moment. So these were from the local market, and they were £1 for, what is it, 9 of them, which I think is a really good price. So that one seems fine. So they are cheap, but if you have an apple tree or you have a neighbour who has some apples, go, by all means, go around and ask if you can have the apples off the tree. You will be surprised how good, even if the apples aren't particularly very nice to eat as an apple, you will be surprised how well they taste if you make them into apple juice. And this is a relatively easy process. We're just going to have to, you just have to quarter them quickly, and then the blender's going to do most of the work. I did. I'm going to adjust the acidity in them by adding a bit of lemon juice, and I didn't want to waste the zest, so I have zested it, and I put the zest in the bottom of the jug before we start, so it'll give a little bit of flavour, something a little bit different. And the thing with apples is they tend to discolour quite quickly. I've seen a lot of videos of people making apple juice, and you end up with brown apple juice, which isn't very nice. So what I've, through a bit of research, I did initially think that you just needed to add lemon juice or some kind of citric to keep the green colour, well, the colour of the apples, but that doesn't work. But I did a little bit of research, and I found that vitamin C tablets will keep the apples from going from discolouring. I mean, there's nothing wrong with brown apple juice. It's just not that appealing, I don't think. And so the vitamin C tablets are a good thing. And also, I think everyone should be, particularly at the moment, everyone should be taking vitamin C supplements along with D as well. But so you should really have them in the house. I don't know if it's down to the other additives that are in the vitamin C tablets that keep the apples from discolouring too much, or if it's just the pure vitamin C. I just needed to buy some vitamin C tablets, so I just bought those. That's what I could find. But I will try again with just pure vitamin C tablets. Those are the ones that I just got things added to them just to make them a little bit more palatable for people. I don't really want to put more apples in. We'll start there with the apples and just whip that off. You can cut them smaller, but I can't be bothered. So that there, hand blender, and we'll pulse down. Oh, it's a bit fast. It does take a little while. We'll put the 2 vitamin C tablets for 9 apples, I think, would be about right. So it's starting to pulse down a lot easier now. It's just that initial chewing through the fruit that's a little bit difficult. Obviously, if I cut them smaller, it would have pulsed down a lot easier. But more surface area of the apples means they're going to go brown quicker. And I think maybe 2 vitamin C tablets was a little bit too much. In retrospect, I probably would have just put 1 in, but better safe than sorry. A little bit more vitamin C in that, it's not going to do anyone any harm until they tell us it's dangerous. Right, so pulse down. pulse it, the more juice you're going to get out of it. So it's kind of important to pulse it down as much as you can. That's about right. So that out of the way, make a bit of room there, and then we have got a bowl with a colander in it, and then we've got 2 layers of clean tea towels. I'm using 2 layers because the tea towel's getting a little bit old, and I'm slightly worried that they might split if I squeeze this juice too hard. So I'm using 2, but ordinarily 1 thick, clean tea towel will be, or anything like that will be fine. Linen is a little bit too soft for this kind of, for what we're going to be doing here, so it has to be something cotton. So I would, tea towels are good, any kind of good quality cloth. Pillowcases would be fine as well. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to bunch it up into a ball, and then we're going to give it a good squeeze, and you'll see how much juice comes out of it. So already you can see there's quite a lot of juice. Well, you can hear it. I don't think you can see it. I don't want to move the camera. We'll give it a good squeeze, but you'll see. Squeeze hands. Ah, that one. Don't want that to happen. We'll pause and readjust. Right, so forget that first bit of video there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to twist the cloth to form a bag that the pulp can't escape out of, and then we're going to gently squeeze, and we'll see that lots of juice comes out of the apples. Keep squeezing, you'll be surprised how much juice comes out of these. Because apples are, I don't know what percentage are, but it's certainly 95% water, I would have thought. Same with most fruits and vegetables. Give it a bit of a massage, and then give it another squeeze. Right, so that is some of the juice that I squeezed out of it. I put it into a jug. As you can see, it's not as the apples have started to discolour quite quickly. There you can see all the discoloration. The apple juice has remained not particularly brown at all. Actually looks like the inside of an apple. So what I'm going to do now is just going to leave that to settle. There will be some solid particles that settle down to the bottom of the jug. There's nothing wrong with them, and I think it is. I think it's actually the pectin in the apples that settles out of it. I'm going to do a little bit of experiment with that pectin. So I'm just going to leave it to settle, and then you just pour off the nice juice from the top and leave the sediment in the bottom, and then that's lovely to drink. I will just taste it, and I will see if I need to add any lemon. I think I will do, but I'll add that once it's all the sediment settled out of it. Actually, I've changed my mind. I'm going to add the lemon juice now, and that'll just help it stay a bit colourful longer. So half a lemon, I think it's about right. Give it a stir and a quick taste. Yeah, that's nice. So about there is more juice to squeeze out of the apples, but that's about so 9 apples, I reckon half a lemon is about right. But obviously, depending on varieties of apples that you use. Right, so the apple juice has been settling for a couple of hours. You can kind of see there's a line there where it's clearer up there, it's a little bit dark, and then down at the bottom there you can see there's this sediment that's collected. I'm going to leave it overnight before I drink it, and it'll properly clear up. I'm going to call it a golden colour rather than brown, but you can see that this is the apple puree that I made, and you can see how that's discoloured. So if I hadn't put the vitamin C tablets in there, in the apple juice, that would have the juice would have discoloured to that kind of colour there, which is a lot darker. As you can see there, is a lot darker than that. So the vitamin C tablets work. But we'll leave it until tomorrow morning, until it completely settles, and it'll be a lot clearer. A lot of the sediment will have dropped right down to the bottom. I might show a video on that, maybe. We'll see how we go. But that's it. That's apple juice at home, really easily.
I put it in a glass jar because the container was a little bit cloudy on the inside. It's got a bit of condensation on the outside as a jar, so it's just come out of the fridge. But you can see it's kept its colour quite well. Yeah, so down at the bottom is where all the silt has collected. I'm pretty sure that's pectin. I'm going to have a play around with that this afternoon. But it certainly kept its colour, and it's not crystal clear. It's a little bit murky, but it tastes delicious. It's really nice. It's if you've got someone who's got an apple tree, or you've got an apple tree yourself, and they're not particularly good at eating apples, you can turn them into apple juice, and you'll be surprised at how nice the apple juice tastes from apples that aren't particularly good eaters. As always, everything I do is a bit of a faff, but it's certainly an interesting thing to do, and pretty straightforward.